I'm Brian Mason for UWBadgers.com, and we're here on the field at Camp Randall with Josh Hoffman, a producer with ESPN, who's actually handling the 3D side of things this weekend. ESPN 3D, one of those many ESPN platforms that set up camp here in Madison to present the Badgers and Buckeyes on Saturday night. And Josh, just talk a little bit, I guess, about yourself and your role at ESPN and what a producer does for a broadcast, first of all.
Well, I've been a producer at ESPN I've been with ESPN for over 20 years, producing for the last 12. And became involved in the 3D project back in April for the first time. And really my role is overseeing the production, working on the camera layout, the technical setup, the content direction of the whole show, and working with the announcers, graphics, replays, everything else that a producer does on a regular show.
Now, you guys have been in town since Thursday doing a lot of setup. How intensive is the setup for a 3D broadcast, and is it any more so than a traditional broadcast for you guys?
Very much so. There's a whole nother level to it. Of every camera, really two cameras, and involves a 3D operation. We have a whole 3D technical staff that works on the cameras, as well as all the cabling, camera positioning, setup into the truck, everything else that goes on to a regular show. So it's the HD unit came in here and started setting up Friday. We were here for a whole day before they were.
And in terms of during the game, what are some of the differences for you and the folks in the truck as far as production goes of a 3D broadcast?
During the game, it's similar, except for the fact that we are a lot more focused on what makes 3D special. Our goal really is that we feel the need to deliver a unique product, so that for somebody that has a 3D set is seeing something different, something more, and a different type of broadcast than what they'd see in HD. And yet our responsibility is still to cover the game and document who's going to win or who wins and why, or else there's no reason to watch it. So we try hard to do both those things.
So at this point, you're 7 games into the year doing 3D broadcasts. How much of it for you guys is still experimentation, and how much of it is kind of refining some of the finer points?
There's a lot of experimentation. We've tried hard not to do the same camera setup at any 2 games. So we move cameras around. We're trying different things. It really is the best thing about this project for me has been the fact that there is no roadmap, and we're starting from scratch, and we're really just trying to throw cameras around and figure out what works best.
Okay, well, do you mind showing us around some of the equipment that you guys use to produce the 3D broadcast?
Sure. Well, first, the one you see right behind us, that post standing up, we call that mass cam. And that is operated robotically by a cameraman that's back in the truck with us. And that was developed because for 3D, there's a need to be much closer to the action. The farther away you are, the less depth that you sense. So that camera goes up and down the sidelines and is our main game coverage camera, so that it can move and always be as close to the line of scrimmage as possible, and not be nearly as far back as the HD cameras are for their coverage. All right, you're looking at one of our standard 3D cameras. The first thing about it that's different than any HD camera is that you see double lenses. The 2 lenses, just like your eyes, are really what brings depth to it. Those are 2 standard HD cameras, but put side by side, they're able to deliver an image with depth to it. The key to this technology that's made it work is that the cameraman runs one camera, and the computers and the machinery around it are designed to make the 2 lenses work exactly in unison. So whatever one does, the other does, and they mirror each other exactly. If they're the slightest bit off, the camera, the image is nearly unwatchable. So it's very involved to lock them in and make sure that they're doing the same exact thing. But really having the 2 eyes side by side is the key to making 3D work.
Appreciate that. What we're doing here is you're in the B unit now, and what we do is we capture all the cameras out in the field here, which you can see on my monitor here. And when I have my left eye and my right eye on each camera. So what I do is I verify that they're both in sync, they're both in line, and then I watch on my lower big monitors here each of the cameras throughout the broadcast. Up top there is program. So the director, that's what's on the air. He sees that, and the director also sees my lower monitor down here, so we know what camera's good or bad. But to even get here, it's got to come from the convergence operators, which are behind you all back here in the back of the truck. There's currently 8 positions, and they work a dial where they bring in the convergence of the picture. In other words, I have 2 eyes catching a picture, and those eyes have to be at the proper interocular distance. What is interocular? That's a distance between your eyes. And the proper distance in order to broadcast a 3D image. In 3D image, we want some foreground, we want the product that's being displayed, and we want some background to give some depth to it, and also some closeness to the picture, to enhance the viewing experience for that neat view like you're there. That's what we're trying to do. Our main goal is to put you in the game, not to necessarily have footballs come flying at you. We're not trying to throw things at the screen and have it come at you like in the old 3D movies. What we're trying to do is, as I said before, enhance the viewing experience for the viewer at home while they're watching ESPN 3D. And we're very excited about that, and it's a weekly process. I know you've talked to our producer, Josh. He's deeply involved in the other truck. We communicate throughout the show, and please watch it. I think you'll enjoy it.
It's very similar to any broadcast of a sporting event. In the corner, we have a technical director, Seth, that is in charge of putting every camera, every source on screen. Mike Schwab, our director, sits next to him. I would sit in that seat next to Mike, but I'm not there now because I'm standing here. Julie, our associate director, is over in the corner. The monitors you see up front are all of our different camera sources, our different tape and replay sources. We have our graphics team back here and extended all the way to the back. And it really is the workflow and the goals and everything are very similar to any broadcast, except that when you're doing an HD show, you walk in with the one goal of documenting the event and delivering that to the viewer. We're really trying to put the viewer right in the middle of it. That becomes our goal, to make it as close an experience to sitting in the stands as we can possibly make it. We're very interested in the football aspect of it, but we're also interested in highlighting what's special and what makes it better to see. So shots sort of what you see on the screen right now that are right from the sideline, as close as we can get the viewer to the action, right into the middle of it, really becomes our focus.